Hi, my name is Heather Murphy, and this is my digital media presentation for my cultural awareness class, and I'm going to go over the topic of diversity in a non-diverse school. I work in a small town in the south part of Kansas, and there's 4 elementary schools in my town, and while we are a very diverse town, my school actually has the lowest amount of diversity. With that being said, we do actually have some diversity. We just don't have diversity as much as in our race and our ethnicity. But in our school, my school personally, 43% of our students are economically disadvantaged, and 24.5% we do have students with disabilities. So we have some diversity, but for this video I'm going to be talking about race diversity and ethnicity diversity. So looking at our school, we are a predominantly white school. 86.2% of our students are white. We have 0% African Americans. We did just get some move-ins in a family that was African American, so that should change. And then Hispanic, we have 10.3%, and then others 3.5%. But looking at our school, you can definitely tell that most of our students are white, and so we are lacking the diversity there in that sense. So, what does this mean for our school? A lack of diversity can hurt students just because there's been positive research done for schools that have a lot of diversity. Diversity in schools have shown to improve academic achievement, leads to less racial prejudice and a better life outcomes down the line. So when they get older, they push students to concentrate and work harder when there are people of other backgrounds working besides them, and they also promote creativity. A study has also shown that students in a very diverse classroom, they feel safer, they're less bullied and less lonely. They view teachers as more fair, and they seek rather than avoid cross-race interactions at school. Diversity can not only help in schools, but also in communities and students after they graduate. Research has shown that more diverse organizations make better decisions with better results, so teachers and principals and leaders in a more diverse school has seemed to make better decisions, and they also prepare students to thrive in a diverse world, because especially in the United States we're becoming more diverse, and so it's just preparing those students earlier on how to interact and take on a diverse world as well. So, since my school lacks diversity, how can I help them kind of grow? There's been some studies and research done. They say teach lessons with other cultures connected in there. I have a new reading curriculum, and we've talked about ancient Greeks and ancient Asia, so that's already kind of connecting those pieces, but just to continue to put those in our lesson plans and to connect it to real world issues. Also give students freedom and flexibility when doing assignments, allow them to make those connections themselves. Practice culture sensitivity in school, even if you're not very diverse. Open up discussions on race. Look at the news stories and ask if the students have been impacted. Especially if they haven't, you can still ask that question like, have you been impacted? And if they say no, then you can say, well, why do you think that you were not impacted? And then talk about discrimination, and also connect it to civic engagement and community service. If you have those community service pieces, especially since my town is diverse, my school is just not as diverse, then it can show how issues of race are present in the community, and then that can start a conversation on what are we going to do to change that, to make that difference and become more diverse as people ourselves. So those are just things that we can do since my school is lacking race and ethnicity diversity. And then here are my references that I have used in my slideshow. Thank you for listening.